The United States is currently experiencing a large amount of illegal immigration. The drain that illegal immigrants have on the government services is detrimental to the economy. As said by the Colorado Alliance for Immigration Reform, the economic and social consequences of illegal immigration are staggering. Illegal aliens have cost billions of taxpayer-funded dollars for medical services. Immigration is a net drain on the economy. Corporate interests reap the benefits of cheap labor, while taxpayers pay the infrastructure costs. $60 billion are earned by illegal aliens in the U.S. each year. One of Mexico's largest revenue streams consists of money sent home by legal immigrants working in the U.S. This is a massive transfer of wealth from America, essentially from America's displaced working poor to Mexico. The pull on the economy is just one way that illegal immigrants are negatively affecting the lives of the American citizenry. Because of these detriments to the American lifestyle, there are many views on what America should do to improve the immigration policies aimed at improving immigration laws.
America was built on the backs of immigrants. In 1917, President Wilson stated, "Personally, I believe that immigrant laborers are the solution to our common labor problem in this country. Many of their people are here, this was once part of their country, and they can and they will do the work." This labor problem was due to the need for workers in the factories during the World Wars. In the 1980s, people started to develop a negative view of the Mexican immigrants when the two countries declared war on drugs. Many smugglers would take drugs across the border into the United States. As the US worked to prevent these smugglers, people began to have a negative view on all who crossed the border into the US, and this negative view grew in 2001 when the Trade Center fell from terrorists. The American people started to fear all immigrants, and after the Great Recession, people started to attribute immigrants to stealing American jobs.
The Democratic or liberal view is that immigration is essentially a good thing and should be protected. In the recent presidential election, Hillary Clinton, the candidate for the left side, laid out her plan for immigration on her website, stating that she will create a National Office of Immigrant Affairs, support affordable integration services through $15 million in new grant funding for community navigators and similar organizations, and significantly increase federal resources for adult English language education and citizenship education. She plans to give amnesty to children who are brought over the border by their parents and amnesty to the parents of those children. The programs called DECA and DAPA are now how she plans to accomplish that. She also is calling for an easier path to citizenship by eliminating the heavy cost and requirements of immigration.
Although Hillary Clinton's in the left side's view on the most reasonable policies are aimed at helping families, they would hurt families as well. There would be a massive amount of people flooding into the labor force, driving wages down, thus creating excessive unemployment. Her views are pointed towards immigrants and minorities within the country and possibly not towards the American people. Derek Morgan, the Vice President for Domestic and Economic Policy for the Heritage Foundation, said, "An amnesty of any size is unfair, costly, and won't work. It is unfair to those who played by the rules and entered lawfully, as well as the millions of people currently waiting in our immigration system to be admitted legally. It is costly because even an small amnesty qualifies millions of people for overburdened government welfare and entitlement programs."
On the conservative right side, they view immigration as something which needs to be kept under strict control. President-elect Donald Trump plans to build an impenetrable wall across the US-Mexican border in order to keep out illegal immigrants when he becomes president. Trump will end catch and release by detaining illegals until they are deported out of the country. He will start deporting all 2 million illegal immigrants that are convicted criminals. Trump plans to end sanctuary cities, which are cities where immigrants can live and not be questioned or accused for their assumed immigration status. Border Patrol will be increased in order to stop criminals and drugs from entering our country. Donald Trump will give zero amnesty to the illegal immigrants currently living in the U.S. limits. Limits will be placed on the number of visas that will be awarded, especially from countries where reliable screening processes are unavailable. Immigrants that will be successful and able to take care of themselves will be admitted into the country.
The reason that Donald Trump's immigration plan will not be as effective is that it will be financially detrimental to the U.S. economy. The rounding up of all 11 million immigrants is just too big of a task. It would cost about an average $10,000 for every illegal immigrant, and the total cost when you include the use of resources to round up and process the immigrants is a total of $400 to $600 billion. Mexico has said that it will in no way pay for the wall that Trump proposes to build. It also won't be effective because it will remove millions of workers from the labor force, and the jobs would not be able to be filled, and some might even disappear. The production of industries would greatly suffer and would cost them billions of dollars in the loss of production.
While both middle candidates agree on the idea that immigration is essential to our nation, they are split on what to do about it. McMullen's stance is that the border does need some reinforcement, but that it does not need a complete makeover. He wants to hire 20,000 new Border Patrol agents, finish the hundreds of miles of fence that are not currently completed down at the border, and install a better surveillance system. On the subject of millions of people who are currently living in the United States illegally, Johnson wants to make it easier for them to become citizens. They may gain a work visa or otherwise assimilate with our diverse society. He wants to shift the focus of law enforcement to those who threaten America. McMullen's plan would to have illegal aliens come forward and register, pay an application fee, have a background check, pass an English test, and then receive a temporary work and residence permit. If the illegals obeyed the law and paid their taxes for a few years, then they would be given the chance to apply for citizenship and permanent residency.
The middle views typically have the potential to work. They are usually derived from both sides of the argument and possess a more logical approach. It is difficult to enforce such ideas because there is a lack of voice and power. The problem of immigration has been present for years, yet there never seems to be a moment where it's been solved. It is evident that to create a working solution, trial and error must take place. Either left or right views may work because they are both on extreme ends of the spectrum. One wants to enforce closed border which will isolate the country and cause an uproar. The other wants to grant amnesty to every criminal and their dog. If we are to create a solution for our immigration problems, then other options must be considered.
Although these plans are good, they also have some weaknesses. The plan which follows was developed to help the immigrants to become citizens and to help them be great additions to the U.S. economy. The program that we have created is similar to the colonial system of indentured servitude and the modern-day internship. This program is called the Resident American Naturalization Program, or the RANP. This program will help train immigrants to become prepared citizens to help them add to the melting pot in a positive manner by allowing them to have a few of the rights that citizens have on a short of trial period.
This program will be an opportunity to come and live in the USA on a type of work visa. The program members will be similar to an intern in the aspect that they will be given training on how to be a citizen of the USA while working and starting a life and contributing to the economy. This program will provide the immigrants with an honest step to citizenship and ensure futures to others. To get into the program, they will need to have their background checked. Once in the program, they will be required to get evaluations periodically from an employer or neighbor, alternating every 6 months to ensure that the individual and their family will indeed be an asset to society. After a short period of about a year, their case will be evaluated and will determine if they will become a citizen. Companies who house these American interns may be subjected to a tax exemption or return for their generous hospitality. This program will ensure an easier transition to becoming a citizen.
The RANP would provide the immigrants with sufficient guidance to establish their home in the United States. This program would help teach them the values that make America great. This will fix the problem of illegal aliens by giving those who would come in illegally a simpler, more honest way to come into the country, and would lower the number of individuals and families entering unlawfully. The Resident American Naturalization Program would also provide a way for those already living in the U.S. illegally with a smoother, more cost-effective way to become a citizen.